Hey everybody, nice to be back with you at the Movies with Film Brown here. Always enjoy coming out, spending some time with the good folk, the folk who, well, have a hankering for some interesting movie flesh. And we've got a piece of movie flesh tonight that I think you're really going to enjoy. I remember seeing this many years ago as a kid, and frankly, I think I was a bit bored by it. And just recently seeing it again, very fascinated by it. This film, another one of those great Roger Corman films, 1960. One of the things that Corman was very good at, and his folks, were kind of capitalizing on certain kinds of trends and genres and hit films. The year before this, there was a film that came out called The World, the Flesh, and the Devil, which was one of those post-apocalyptic nuclear war films where, well, everybody on Earth seems to have died except for three folks. Two men and a woman. Well, in that film, we had a black man and a white man and a white woman together, which kind of made an interesting mix. Roger Corman comes along with his screenwriter, Robert Towne, who actually even plays one of the roles in this film, makes a film called The Last Woman on Earth, which also deals with the post-apocalyptic situation. Now, rather than a nuclear holocaust, it's rather vague, and I kind of like this idea that they don't really know themselves what has caused the problem. Because you think about it, if there's just three of you left on some Caribbean island with very little access to any types of, large populations and radios and things like that, because a radio doesn't really work that well, you're not going to know what caused this catastrophe. Now, what happens here is Anthony Carbone and Betsy Jones Moreland and Robert Towne, the three main characters in this film. Matter of fact, after your initial little cockfight scene at the beginning, got a nice little beginning, metaphorical, if you will. Won't go too far into that, but got these two cocks fighting each other, these two roosters, right? Okay, this is down where this stuff is still allowed and so on, and they're betting over this stuff. Okay, well, you can bet that coming down the line, there's going to be this problem. Two men, one woman, okay, fighting over territory and turf. Well, interesting little movie. What happens here is these guys go scuba diving. Okay, they go out, in the Caribbean, you're going to do those Hemingway type things. So they go out on their boat and they decide to go scuba diving. And while they're down, something must have happened up there, because when they come back up, the air seems bad. They're, they can't take it, so they keep their tanks on, and as they come back, they find people have died, and they're the only two left. Now, the air gets replenished. They explain this by there's a lot of plant life around there, and it replenishes the air. Good for these three, because they get to survive. Now, 1960 for Roger Corman. What a great year. I was just looking up. Now, one of the things about Corman is he's very prolific when he was a director. 1960, Wasp Woman. Remember, Wasp Woman is a film that we showed on our little venue here. Enjoyed it greatly. House of Usher, the beginning of his Poe series. Ski Troop and Little Shop of Horrors, along with Last Woman on Earth, all made in 1960. So that's a banner year for Corman. Now, kind of enjoyed this movie. The color, it's kind of a colored film that kind of pops up here and there. The print that we have is not really consistent in its color, but it actually adds a very odd, eerie quality to this. And one of the things that I like about this film, rather than great, discussions of the ramifications of war and what do you do, if there's only three of you left and things like that. This film really just jumps right into it, and you've got these two guys fighting over this woman. Very instinctual, okay? Kind of cuts right to the chase. The dialogue in this film is kind of primal. That fits. There's a lot of shenanigans going on between these two guys sort of bonding, but then the woman comes between them, and then there's bonding in other ways. It's a lot of fun. You learn how to fish in this film. You learn a lot of different kinds of things that if there are only three of you left, what do you do, just at the practical level. But none of those highfalutin discussions, about the quality of mankind and things like that. Oh, we've done it again, those kind of things like in Planet of the Apes and so on. Just your gut-wrenching type of film. Last Woman on Earth. I think you're going to enjoy it. I had a great deal of entertainment in watching it, and give it some time. I think the three, particularly at the ending of this film, okay, works really nicely. It's a film that, one of the rarities in science fiction, that is such a small budget and such a small set of characters, very minimalist, that it doesn't pull many punches. Works really well. Last Woman on Earth. Let's roll them.